All right, people, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase E. This is After the Burn, and I'm excited about this one. Can I tell you, we've been trying to put this, Jay Blunt from Smok'n Blunt Hot Sauce, we've been trying to put this together. The second I decided I was going to do this, he was one of the guys I reached out to right away, and he's like, yes, but our time, we were just hard putting schedules together, but we can fire it up about it. But I want to say hi to everybody here. If you have questions for Jay, listen, or comments that you want to make sure get read, just throw some 3 capital Q's in front of it. And well, that way I'll see it. And what will happen is, don't worry, I'll see it and I'll flag it with a little bit of star there, and it keeps them in a pile, and then I'll get to them, I promise. But thank you, everybody, for being here. A little housekeeping before we bring Jay on. Tomorrow we've got Bus Pass only live stream. Rumor has it, on good authority, there's going to be a 1 hot minute tomorrow. So if you got a Bus Pass, you want to make sure you're in tomorrow night. And tomorrow night also is the night that we're going to do the education of Keith Lego. Keith Lego has taken a month off of eating spicy stuff, an entire month. More than a month. We're rolling in on 2 practically. So his tolerance is low. And what we've got is, I don't know where the bottle is. We've got some 10 million Scoville tincture he's going to be doing. And this stuff will blow your hair back and whiten your teeth if your tolerance is high, and his tolerance is super low. So Ethan will be joining us, and Tom will be joining us. Sam, new member. Thank you, my brother. You look spectacular in green. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Saturday and Sunday, we've got the capsaicin connection. We're going to be talking about the relationship between capsaicin and sobriety. So please be there for that, and some surprises also. So I look at Chris and Melinda, member for 10 months. And I don't know if you saw my email. Maybe you've already done it already. Email me, if you can, at chasey@gmail.com. I got some stuff I need to get to you, Melinda. You betcha I'll get that question to him, Jay, I promise. But without any further ado, one of the coolest sauce makers. Here we go. This is Jay Blunt from Smok'n Blunt Hot Sauce. How are you, bro?
I'm awesome, man. I'm awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you what. It's taken forever to get us together, but we're finally here.
Right.
I'm excited to have you on. Thank you. I appreciate it, because I know you're busy, man. I know sauce makers are. You guys are busy. Now, quick, before we get into this, quick 5x5 from somebody. How do we sound? How do we look? I know that you look amazing, dude. I just want to make sure we sound okay. But, man, I appreciate it. We're going to get into a lot of things.
Here in the dark, so I'm glad it looks okay.
Dude, you look great. We sound good, too. This is great. All right, so I'm going to get into we're going to talk a lot about sauce and spicy stuff for sure. But before we do any of that stuff, before we get into that, I want to learn about you. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
As a kid, I grew up in Maryland. We're originally from Virginia. I moved back to Virginia middle school age, and been in Virginia ever since.
Do you have a big family? Or how do you come from a small family?
A lot of our family is really from Williamsburg, Virginia. So we've got a pretty big family out here.
Very cool. Now, did you spend all of your youth there, or did you move around at all, or is that where you
moved around a little? Like I said, I stayed in Maryland for a little bit, and then me and my mom, we finally came back to Williamsburg. We stayed in Williamsburg for a while. Now I'm in New Kent. I've been in New Kent now. Wow, going on 13 years now.
Very cool. When you were a kid, what did you do for fun? What were your hobbies? What kind of kid were you?
Man. I was a football kid, man. I like sports, man. What did you play? I like being outside, man. I was an outdoor kid. What position did you play in football? Defensive end.
Really? So was I.
Yeah.
I was tight end on offense, and I played at small school, Jay, like teeny school. So if you had any kind of skill at all, you played everything. And
there you go.
So I was tight end on offense and defensive end on defense. I tried middle linebacker for a while, but I didn't have a good read on the ball. I was not, at the defensive end, you just didn't want to lose contain.
Right.
It was easy, right? Just don't lose contain. But with a middle linebacker, you had to see where the ball was going, and that was just not. I wasn't smart enough to play linebacker.
Come on.
So very cool. And so now, are you married now? Are you single?
Actually, we've been married. This year will be our 13th year. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Everybody in the chat, if you could, do me a favor. Please like this stream. We're getting more people watching it. So you've been married for 13 years. Now, obviously, you are a spice man. Is your wife spicy?
It's not.
No.
Like black pepper is like that's a little bit much for her sometimes. So
You
yes,
know, I
her
feel
spice
that
tolerance is super low.
it happens a lot, bro. It
Right?
happens so often that, and I feel bad for them because I'm single now. But when I started my channel, I was married, and I've always been in spice, and it's like
I'll tell you.
it's it's a tough thing, man. They're almost like spice widows. I feel bad for them.
Yeah,
Everything is spicy.
everything, everything.
So when did now? So you've before we get into this Smoking Blunt, because I can't wait to talk about it. When did you first get into spicy stuff? Were you a kid?
Oh,
Did you like it when you were younger?
yeah, I was a kid when I would say, I won't even say a kid, I'll say a teenager. Once I hit
Yeah.
about 13, 14, I started getting into the hot sauce. You know, the
So
average
was
stuff,
it?
Texas Pete, stuff like that.
Do you like peppers, or is it mostly just sauce?
I'm more of a sauce guy. I'm more of a
Yeah.
sauce guy. Yeah.
All right. So you got into sauces when you were like, what were when you first got into it? What sauces? Like, what was your gateway? My gateway sauce was
It was definitely Texas
Tabasco
Pete.
original.
It
What
was
was yours?
definitely the original Texas Pete.
Texas Pete. Good. I got you. Do you still have a soft place in your heart for it?
Oh man, I don't actually. It sounds
You know
bad.
what?
I don't. Like
Well, you know what? It's because you make it. It happens when you make sauce. You kind of see sauce differently.
exactly.
Do you still like Louisiana style sauce, or you kind of moved away from that?
I do still like that style, but
Yeah.
I like to make it myself.
All right, so let's talk about that. How'd you go from, hey, you know what? I kind of like spicy stuff. That's kind of my jam, to, hey, you know what? I think I can run a bit. I think I should be making this. How did that happen?
So actually, excuse me, actually it wasn't even really my idea at first. So again, I was a diehard Texas Pete guy. That was the only hot sauce that ever touched the fridge. Nothing else was coming in. We ran out one night, and my daughter was there. She was like, "Hey, you should try making your own." So we tried it. Came out pretty good. That turned into the original, or the OG sauce as we call it.
I love the original, dude. I love your original. It's like
Thank you.
one of my favorites.
That is literally the first sauce we've ever made.
Really? Is that your biggest seller?
It's not actually. That's
Really?
actually that one sells the least, believe it or not. The
I
biggest
can't
seller
believe
is
that.
the burger sauce, the one that's not spicy.
That's bizarre. Well, you know what? It's more mainstream. Think about it,
Right, right.
But
Everybody
how
can,
do you get the smaller the window of people that enjoy it? The mild stuff, everybody likes.
everybody can touch it. But yeah, so
So
we went through that whole process of I should make my own. I looked it up. I made up the original sauce, and literally that night, it was just a joke at first. It was, hey, I went on the Facebook and said, hey, made some hot sauce. Anybody want to buy a bottle? And literally till 2 o'clock that night, or that morning, excuse me, we were getting people saying, yeah, I'll take one. I'll take one. And here we are 4 years later, still going.
how funny. So now I've been reviewing sauce for a long time. They're all
Um,
great.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about this, and people are probably sick of me saying it, but sauce makers have a signature that even though you have different sauces, really variety, like really different flavor profiles, there's something that weaves in and out of all of them that say Smoking Blunt. And it's true. You have a great signature. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 different bottles to figure it out, different sauces, but I'm serious. If I was blindfolded, I'm like, man, Jay made this one. You really make great sauces. So how did the squeeze bottle, what made you do that?
So the squeeze bottles came around because we were getting so many broken glass bottles.
Sucks, doesn't it?
It was like, man, we're spending more money replacing bottles than we are actually just.
Well, it isn't just that. As a sauce maker, the bottle breaks. So then what you do is you send them another bottle and you send them an extra one because you feel bad, right?
Exactly.
Don't you? So
Exactly.
every time a bottle breaks, you're taking it on the chin twice. You're extra shipping, and it's like, when we started Chase the Hot Sauce, we did it with like food grade pouches, which is a really cool idea. It worked well. But I love the bottles. I really do. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Big fan
So
of that.
far, all our customers have been loving the squeeze bottles. The glass was what we heard from a lot of people too, that the glass was hard to get everything out of when it got low. The squeeze bottles made it a lot easier.
Well, drop one on your kitchen floor. That's all you got to do. Is drop one once, and you're like, man, I'm good. Seriously, because I've done that, and you're first to go, but then you're like, oh, cool, we're all set. But, well, not just that, Jay. Think about this: if you put it in your like the drawer, like when you open your fridge and you got the little door in the fridge, try putting 10 glass bottles in that thing. Plastic, they make nothing. You know what I mean? So to me, it's brilliant. I think that 10 years from now, there won't be hot sauce in glass bottles, man.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I can't, I'm really surprised it hasn't caught on faster because like the pouches we had, Jay, we had it when we had it made. The pouches came with the labels on them, laser printed on the pouch, and it was still cheaper than a glass bottle, bro.
It's crazy, right?
But I don't understand. Like, can I tell you the grocery store that I shop with David Foy when I'm in Fort Mill? I swear to you, their mayonnaise and ketchup come in bags.
Really?
Not even in glass. I'm serious. Bags, bro. It's the funniest thing. I've taken pictures and posted. I'm like, when your guy used to sell in the hood. Because all the stuff is in like bags, twisted bags. It's the craziest thing. But so I think the plastic stuff is great. How many different flavors do you have in your lineup right now?
Oh, man. Sauce-wise, we're looking at 10, and then traditional condiments, mayo, barbecue, buffalo, that adds another 3. So we're looking at 12, 13 altogether.
I got news for you, bro. That's brilliant to do that because you open the door for anybody. There's some sauce like companies that are made by like Chili Head owned, and their mildest stuff, like for me, is a mild sauce, but for somebody who doesn't eat hot stuff, their mildest stuff is really still pretty hot. So it's good that you've got something for everybody. We got a question from Dale Cox who says, ask what the mildest you have, Jay, and what is the hottest sauce you have in your lineup?
So the mildest is going to be the OG. And this is my opinion. Everybody's taste buds are different. But the mildest would be the OG. And then the hottest is going to be the Cherry Fury. That's Carolina Reaper, ghost pepper, habanero, jalapeno with a pop of cherries.
That's a pretty warm one, man. Especially consider if you look at some of your other ones, that one's a big spike compared to like the OG.
Yeah, we were trying to get that spike too, man. That was the whole point.
Well, you got it. I can't believe the OG is not your number one seller. That is such a good sauce.
It's not.
That's bizarre to me.
That was the least.
That's so bizarre. All right, so we got another question here from Jeremy Fowler asks, what is your favorite pepper? And you have to choose only one. I'll go with you. I'll go first. My favorite pepper, if I had to choose one, I'd probably pick the ghost pepper because the flavor's fantastic. It's such a consistent pod. It's got a great burn, and there's all the different varieties. I'd go ghost if I had to pick one.
I agree. I was just about to say ghost. Like, when we first did our ghost pepper pineapple, I literally stopped using any of our sauces but that.
Seriously?
Only thing I used.
It's a great sauce. You know what? Pineapple is such a good sauce to add to as a base because you get that tropical thing. It's versatile. It's great on pork, chicken. Absolutely. All right, so this is an important one. This comes from SJ, who's awesome. Are you ready? Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl, bro?
Oh, no.
And what hot sauce pairs well for the game? That's a stellar rock star question, people. Pay attention. That was a good one.
So to answer the first part, man, I guess I'm going to have to go with Philly because my wife is technically a Philly fan. She's from Philly. I'm a Packer fan, so I'm kind of deflated a little bit there, but I'll go with Philly. Philly. Sauce-wise, Ooh. I'm going to say the Chipotle habanero mango or the red chili. Those ones go over pretty. Everybody.
Yeah, that would be good. I was thinking for like with some appetizers, have some of the one with the Reaper and the Ghost in it.
Ooh, okay.
Add some heat. Add some heat to it. You know what? I'm a Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan. I can't stand the Cowboys, but when I like Philadelphia, and I also like the Packers. I got a lifelong friend who's a Packers fan, and when the Giants are out of it, I usually root for the Packers. They have the greatest fans in the world, I think.
We're the only team that's not owned by anybody but the fans.
Right? But the thing about it is, if you're a Packers fan, dude, you go to listen, you're taking your life in your own hands going to a Packer game just the weather alone is just as gnarly. I mean, you see some games and you're like, you wonder how these people are getting through it.
They love it though, man. Like you see them out there with the shirts off, painted
The
up.
cheese heads.
Do it, man.
If I were there, I can see doing it. Not now, I'm too old, but when I was younger, I can totally see being there, being a lunatic during a freezing cold game. But yeah, they're the only team where the fans own it. I can't believe I'm surprised that didn't catch on, because there are other cities I think are almost better for that model. You know what I mean? They're it's a tough one because of where they just geographically it's a nightmare. But I can't believe there's no other team that does that.
It works really well though. It works really well. Like I've been trying to get my hand on some stock for years. I'm eventually going to get one.
You need to. You're a fan. And the other thing about Cheesehead fans, they're hardcore. I've never met a Cheesehead fan that wasn't sort of a fan. Oh my God, dude. For real, they take it very seriously. All right, so right here, everybody, is Smok'n Blunt. There is Jay's his website. Please check it out if you haven't tried any yet. Honestly, at the very beginning of the video, Kristen Melinda, KM, threw up. She posted a whole bunch of links to videos where I reviewed a lot of Jay's stuff. Check them out. There is, honest to goodness, something for every chilihead. If you just stumbled onto it, just got into it, because there are people here that just got into it. To whether you're somebody like Brock Bandy, who is a lunatic and likes stuff really, really hot. There's something for Dale Cox as well. Warthog's his favorite. There's something for everybody, so please check it out. Oh, Wanna Love says, not the Eagles. No! But you have some other Packers fans. Check it out. I Live for Now as a Packers fan, so they're stoked.
Let's go.
All right, let me see if we have any more questions. Here we go. Here's a good one. All right. I usually do the describing, but I'm glad to hear Jay do it. Jay, describe, if you could, your barbecue sauce to all of us. I haven't tried it.
Is more on the sweet and smoky side than it is the spicy side. We were trying to make sure that barbecue sauce could be used for everyone, the kids, everybody. So you get a little bit of the molasses type tang, and then you have, the molasses type sweetness. There's a little brown sugar mix in there. So it's got a little sweetness going on, and then you have a nice little pop of tang that kind of finishes it off.
Nice. Great description. I'll tell you what, you could always be a reviewer. You can do what I do.
You're too good at it, man.
All these great people in the chat. I appreciate you guys all being here. Dude, I loved your sauces from the very beginning. Honest to God, there are some sauces. You know why? If I didn't, I'd be like, I'd stop reviewing your sauces. Over the years, there are some sauce companies I reviewed, and you didn't see me review anymore. I enjoy your sauces a lot. They're very, very good. Here we go. Here is Jay's Instagram. Okay. Thank you for doing that, Sam. I appreciate it.
Follow me. Thank you.
Yeah, real quick. Let me just for 1 second. And any more questions, you guys fire them up there. Just for a second, I want to real quick and see if I can get a roll call. I want to thank everybody for being here. Sometimes it allows me and sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to see if it throws me a bone here. It's not cooperating. Anyway, there's a lot of things you guys could be doing right now, and you're hanging out with us. So for that, I really appreciate you. And my brother, Tommy Scoville, Jay, is a fan of your sauces. I think he's a fan. I think the reason he's a fan of your sauces is he likes spice. He does. He's not like a sissy, but he doesn't like melt your face off spice. And a lot of your sauces are in his wheelhouse as far as heat level. You know what I mean? So he does enjoy them. So he is a fan. Thank you, Tommy, for being here, bro. All right, let me get back to my next question because I got a ton. Let's see here. All right, what is your favorite? I want to know your favorite thing about being a hot sauce maker and your least favorite thing about being a hot sauce maker. Sometimes they're the same.
Wow. That's a good question. I never thought about that. I'll say the favorite thing would be being able to be creative. Each one of our sauces has its own, in my mind, it has its own life. It has its own form. It's each one is completely different from the other. So it's been interesting going through through the process making each one and watching how each one turns out and watching the response to each one. So
Right.
that's definitely the favorite part. The worst part? Wow. I don't think I have one.
That's the right attitude.
Man. I've enjoyed every moment of this.
Now, I know as a sauce maker, because we have sauces, some are more challenging than others. What is do you have any sauce that are just a pain in the neck to make, but you keep making it? Or are they all relatively easy with you got it dialed in?
I kind of got them all dialed in. Like I have a Rolodex where I can just roll through with ease.
What is your process, Jay, of developing new sauces? Like, where does that start? And do you have new sauces right now in development?
I have new sauces that are beyond development, actually. The newest one I have right now is a dill jalapeno.
Dill jalapeno.
So what we did a pickle fest event. What was that, last November? And they asked us to make some spicy pickles and bring out some other things pickle related. So we made the spicy pickles. We did a ghost pepper pineapple pickle, a blueberry lemon habanero pickle, and a strawberry reaper pickle, and the ranch dill jalapeno pickle.
Ranch dill jalapeno. Oh,
that's where the sauce came from. So we mixed those. We put those out. The ranch dill jalapeno took off immediately. Like, that was the first thing gone. The pickles, the sauce, everything. It kind of reminds me of it tastes like Chick-fil-A in a bottle almost, man. It's everything but the chicken, you know? It's weird.
Right?
It's weird, but it worked out really well. It is sold really well. The process that I usually go through, I kind of think about myself when I'm trying to come up with new recipes. I'm thinking about the things that I like and the things that pair well together. Some things have worked out great. Others have been like, that was the worst thing I could have tried. But so far, so good. The process usually works out very well.
Now, do you have like what do you see? You're 4 years in. What do you see the next 4 years like? Are you gonna like if you look 4 years down the road? Do you have like 20 sauces in your lineup? I mean, how do you envision the growth?
I envision us kind of locking down.
Really?
Creation.
Gotcha.
Just to keep down on our end of trying to continuously create something new. I really want to open a restaurant.
No way. Are you joking?
Nothing crazy. Just like a wing restaurant, but nothing but our sauces.
Here's the problem. Have you ever been in the restaurant business, bro?
I haven't, man.
Well, let me tell you. All right, I've been in it. You have to live there. Yeah. You have to live there. No, I mean it. And if you have one, dude, I worked for a dude in college. I was managed his place. He had 2 different spots. It was a pizza joint. He was making mad dough. He had one crooked bartender. You have one crooked employee, and you're in so much trouble. It's like it's such a scary thing having a restaurant. I mean, listen, if you do it, more power to you. I'll come. I'll eat there. What? So just like wings, you said?
Yeah, it should be like wings and burgers, fries, just small stuff, but it literally nothing but our sauces is the whole point of it.
Well, that would be cool. You know what I mean? Introduce everybody. That'd be a good thing. Is that something you're like, are we just talking about it? Is this a goal?
It's a goal. It's a goal. It's a 5-year goal. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow. How's your wife with this? Is she super supportive in all this? I mean,
extra supportive, man. She's like the biggest backbone. Like, without
you know what,
this wouldn't happen.
That says you're a good guy, or she wouldn't be that way. For real.
That's it. Thank you.
But that also, we know that when mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So keep mom happy.
That's right.
Know?
Right.
That's all there is to it. SJ says the restaurant business is nightmarishly hard. But you know what? If you nail it, it's fun. I mean, I've seen guys that nailed it. You know what? There's been a bunch of good dill sauces. I did one jalapeno, or I think just 2 days ago. Okay. There are some good ones out there. They're getting popular, so you should run with that one. That'd be cool. All right, so let me see if we have any more questions I missed. Let me see here. Okay, Here's an interesting one. Sam, Pepper Poppy says, if I sent Jay some peppers or pepper mash this summer, would Jay make a hot sauce out of them? And if so, how much mash would he need for a small batch?
Wow. Oh man, I don't even.
You use a lot of powders, don't you?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
So you mostly use fresh mash?
Fresh pepper, yeah.
So I'll tell you what. See, I'm like the deal maker here. Put you guys together.
Yeah.
What is your email? What is your email? Tell you what, Pepper Poppy, throw your email and the email address, and we'll get you guys together. Maybe so you guys can do something.
Let's do it.
You never know. That's how deals are put together. Chili Phil asks, what made you decide to make a hot sauce? Ran out. That's so funny. I want to talk to you before we. I have a good question I want to ask you, but before we do you ship overseas? Is that something you ship?
I will ship overseas.
Not yet.
Make it worth my while. Shipping is
tough.
Yeah, shipping gets expensive.
Thank God you've got squeeze bottles, because I'll tell you what, you break a bottle overseas and it's like brutal. Your margins are already that big when you start shipping stuff around the world. It's true. I mean, it's a tough game to make money in, but it's a thing of passion. You know what I mean? Passion is where it comes from. But
you're not going to make it, man.
Right? So let's talk just for a second about events, hot sauce festivals. Do you dig them? How do you feel about them?
I do like hot sauce festivals. I have not had the chance to actually step foot into one yet, which is crazy.
You need to, bro.
I've been asked to come to the NYC Hot Sauce Expo. There's an international hot sauce expo that's coming up for Berlin. They just sent me some information on that one. They asked me to submit some sauces for that. So yeah, I'm all the way in for those, man.
They're so much fun. They really are, man. You get your name out, people meet you. You got a great look. Your sauces are good. It would be fun. Do you think you're going to try to attend some this year, or what's your plan?
I'm definitely going to try and make some this year.
Do you have any children?
We do. We have 4.
4? How old are they?
Wow. So the youngest is 17. She's getting ready to turn 18. That's the one I'm here with tonight, waiting on her to finish up class. Then you have Crystal. She's in her mid to late 20s. Andre's a year or so older than her. And then Malcolm is in his 30s.
How do they feel about you in the hot sauce game? Are they supportive?
They're all, so that's what's crazy. This is literally a family business. Crystal created the name, the Smok'n Blunt Sauce. She came up with that.
Now, that was we're getting close to that question, because we got to talk about that. I want to see how long I can put that off, because most people would open with, how did you get the name Smok'n Blunt? But
it's not a thing.
I know.
So she made that name. The logo was actually done by our son Malcolm. He created the whole thing. Andre is now working on our upcoming newsletter that we're going to start putting out monthly. It's going to have recipes and things like that in it. So he's taking that, and he's already got like 200 ready to ride. So it's a lot good. It's good stuff going on. Lyric is my basically, she's my taste tester. She's, whether she wants to or not, she's going to taste it. Sometimes
that is so cool.
You try to kill me. So
I got to tell you, recently I reviewed Justin Stagg from Stagg Barbecue. Okay. Same thing. It's a family event. Everybody's got a role they play, and that's awesome. That's very, very cool. All right, so Berlin, Maryland, or Germany? You said you got caught.
Berlin, Germany. Yeah, it's the International Sauce Festival. Yep.
Wow. See, that would be so cool. I would love to go to that.
So
I'll go with you.
Physically go to. They just asked me to compete. So I'm just going to send some over and submit.
Gotcha. That's so cool. Oh, all right. So did he say he has a son that's 30? How does he look so young? So what's the deal?
I was waiting for it. So my wife is 14 years older than me. So I'm in my 50s. Excuse me, I'm in my 40s. She's in her 50s. So the oldest 3 kids are stepkids. The youngest is mine. I knew that one was coming.
My heart sank when you said in your 50s. I was like, then you said 40s. I feel a little better. Good Lord, man. All right, so let's talk about Smok'n Blunt. We got to talk about the name, because I'll tell you something. look, everybody who sees that, everybody who
Always.
sees that immediately goes there. So how did that happen?
So again, that was just Crystal playing with words. We were again sitting in actually that same night when we did the LG sauce. She was just sitting there. She was just going through stuff, and she threw that one out. What about Smok'n Blunt Sauce? Huh? I kind of
I
like.
wish I could have been there to see the look on everybody's face. Like,
Kind of got quiet for a second, and then it just clicked, man. And it
it's
was
a
like
great name.
perfect play on it. The last.
Well, you know what? It is a perfect play on it. Smoking sauce, smoking blunt sauce. And the great thing is the chili community is kind of gnarly. Isn't the chili community a little on the gnarly side? So that's kind of right in the,
Mm-hmm.
How often do you get asked questions? How often do people ask you that?
Every single time.
I bet.
Every pop up we go to, that's everybody's first question is what's in it and how much is in it.
Right?
Seasonings?
That's hilarious. All right. So, of all the sauces you make, what is your favorite?
My favorite is the ghost pepper pineapple. The ghost pepper.
Okay.
And if I had to pull a second favorite, I'm going to go with the green chili, which is lime and cilantro.
Right. Cilantro so good. Now, how much you go through a lot of your own sauce? You must.
Actually, I do. I would say, wow, if I had to put it in bottle form, maybe 2 bottles a month, maybe. I use it on everything, man. Breakfast, lunch.
That's awesome.
Only
so how do you
sauce if I'm at my 9 to 5, man.
Right? Say that again. Wait, say that again.
The only time I'm not pouring sauce on something is if I'm at my 9 to 5.
Tell me about the 9 to 5.
I am actually a special education teacher's assistant.
Wow, bro.
I enjoy it, man. You'd be surprised the amount of joy those kids can bring, man.
Man, working with children is just a blessing. But let me ask you a question. So let's talk about time. How do you put it all in? You're working full time. You're
at like 6 different ends, man.
Well, I mean, putting every single kid in the family to work is a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So it's 7 days a week. It's just every single day.
7 days a week for us. Yeah.
So you know that if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's a good thing. Of course, it's easy for me to say that because I'm not,
you get tired like anything else. The body like anything else, but it's a different push when it's yours. It's a different push when you really believe you have that passion, that drive.
So what is time frame? How far before you anticipate going full time with this and leaving the full time job?
Last year, but the number just wasn't there, man. So I'm hoping by the end of this year, I'm hoping so.
Well, you know what? Everybody in the chat, I'll help you any way I can. If you've never had, listen, for real now, if you've never had any of Smok'n Blunt sauce, you really need to try them. They are very good. They're not sauces designed to hurt you. No. They're all balanced, very flavor-wise. They're balanced very, very well. And all the different flavor profiles, they're all, it's not like they're all slight variations they're all very different. And I think, I've never had every time I do a video, people end up buying sauces from me. I've never had anybody ever say anything but positive stuff about your sauce.
Thank you.
So try it, you guys. Look what Kristen Melinda says.
Our goal.
You're my hero.
Oh, wow.
You're my hero, Jay. Special education teachers and their assistants are our angels. I got a kiddo in special education.
Thank you. It takes a special person. It really does. It really does.
SJ says, as if we couldn't love Jay more. That's an incredible job.
Thank you.
Good thing you're married, bro. I can get you set up. Look at this. Mike from Australia says, praise you, mate. Running a business and a 9 to 5 is hard.
Hard, man.
And the job you're doing is such a give back, wonderful, feel good sort of a thing. It's one of those jobs where you get so much more back than you can possibly put into it.
You really do.
I know. Working with kids is really neat.
Having a new kid, so I'm a 1-to-1, so I have the same kid every day. So
wow,
this crazy relationship, man, and it's like
deep
differences, man. It's beautiful.
What age now? What age do you work with?
I'm in a high school, so our kids go from freshman year until they're 22. and then they age out of the school system.
Wow. Jeremy's going to be ordering on payday. That dill and the blueberry sauce sound good. And then we got
Don't forget
Riverdale Garden
merch.
What?
So don't forget your merch. Get your Smok'n Blunt Sauce merch. It's there. It's all on the website.
And you know what? Don't you need some Smok'n Blunt merch? Riverdale already started a cart on your site. Gotta love hot sauce. Thank you, Riverdale Gardens, for being here.
Thank you.
All righty. So let me get back to some more questions here. Now, the industry is changing always, and there's a lot of competition, and some of it's friendly and some of it's not so friendly. How do you try to stay ahead? Do you even focus on them, or you just focus on your own thing?
The only person I'm in competition with is myself, actually. I just want to be better than I was the day before, man. Like, I've met so many different sauce makers. We've had crazy conversations. We've had great conversations, but I don't see any of them as competition. There's so many different palettes out here. It's enough room for everybody. So there's no competition, man.
It's awesome. SJ says there's some nice hoodies on Jay's site.
I need your address. I got to get you that hoodie, man.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'll give it to you, bro.
I got so busy, man.
I'm a hoodie guy too. You know what's funny? I've got 3. Do I have 3 now? I may even have 4. I think I gave one away. I have 3. I did. I have 3 Hellfire sweatshirts. I've got 3 from Harvest 912. I've got I wear sweatshirts all the time, hoodies constantly, man. I live in them.
I'm like in one now, right?
Very, very cool. Well, you know what? Thank God I did something where this is my work attire. If I ever showed up somewhere, bro, with a shirt and tie on, I think people would clutch their chest and fall down. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Wouldn't know what to do, man.
For real, man. All right. So what is your greatest trying to think how to word this. What's not obstacle? What's the most challenging aspect of being a sauce maker? Is it just balancing the job and the sauce? I guess that's probably what it would be.
Actually, no. I in my opinion, I think it's more marketing, presenting the brand.
Really?
You know, again, we're 4 years in. We've got a pretty stable customer base,
right?
But to continue to grow is where it gets difficult, because it's like, you get into that off season and things slow down, and now you're trying to create a new lane to push things out, and it's just sometimes it gets frustrating just trying to keep the ball rolling.
Social media. I don't know how you feel about social media. To me, like, I hate it. I really do. It's a necessary evil.
It's like we live on it almost, and it's like everything I do is centered around social media. I'm on it all the time, man.
See, I love this. I love YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm okay a little bit with Instagram, but everything else, like, it's the only part of what I do that feels like work. There. This isn't work, bro. I'm chewing the fat with a buddy of mine. You know what I mean? So this isn't work, but every time I've got to deal with social media, it's like, social media, it drives me crazy. And it's one of those things that's like a necessary evil. You got to have it. You can't live without it.
Mm-hmm. Man, everybody, what's your Facebook? What's your Instagram? What's your TikTok? Here it is.
It's crazy. Kristen says, you need one of those ties with pictures of hot sauce or chili peppers on it.
Yes, I do. I have my hot sauce socks. I do wear those quite often. But yeah, the ties it's not in there.
You know what? I had it in that show I was in, the reality show Super Hot. At one point, there was a scene where I was wearing a shirt and tie in a board meeting. We were showing about how it can be big money. And it was funny because they came up with the idea. I said, yeah. They handed me the tie. I tied it. Those fools thought I wouldn't know how to tie a tie on my own. I'm like, come on, who do you think you're talking to? But I put the shirt and tie on, and I sent a picture of that to Bree, the girl I was seeing in Australia at the time. And her response, She said I look like a tribal chief that they forced to put on a suit and tie for like a meeting.
Wow.
And if you see the picture, you know what? I gotta get it. I didn't know we'd be talking about this. Or I would have got it. It's the funniest picture. I look so awkward in this jacket and tie. It's hilarious.
I mean, because that's definitely something that you don't expect to see.
Yeah, I'm comfortable if this is how I wear. Like I have 100 t-shirts and like 2 of them are not black. There, everything is.
Thank you.
Well, it's like concert t-shirts. You ever buy a white concert t-shirt? Come on.
Hello.
You know what I mean? They're all black t-shirts. That's how it is. Jane Aldrich says, since we're missing Bizzle tonight, can you please ask? Yep, I got Bizzle's favorite question. All right. Okay. Bizzle's one of our biggest heroes. I love him like a brother. He's not here though. So here's his question. Tell us all 3 things that you're grateful for, Jay.
Wow. 3 things I'm grateful for. God, family, and life. In that order.
Talk about spiking the football. It's a wrap here, people. It's a good thing you're married, dude, because it's a trifecta. You're hitting on every single, I mean, man, God, family, and life. I'm glad you put God first. That's beautiful, man.
He's everything, man. Without him, every time I do an interview, I talk to someone and they ask, hey, what is this about? How do you keep this going? It's not me. It's
God. Me. Boy, you know, it's funny you say that because I work with Harvest 912, these people, and I'm their national spokesperson. And all the time we're saying, man, we didn't do a thing, man. We're just hanging on along for the ride, man. We're not doing a thing. We're just gripping on and seeing where it goes. For real. That's very, very cool. That was, man, if Bizzle, isn't that great? Bizzle's not even here and we're asking the right questions. Fowler says, didn't you have shorts on in that shot, Johnny? I did. I had the short shirt and the tie and a pair of shorts on. You're right. It's a fact. Love the gratitude attitude. Joe Mama says. Joe Mama, thanks for being here. Wanna Love says, drop that, Mike. You kidding me? Exactly. And Joe Mama also asks everybody to tap that thumbs up, please, people. We don't want to get Joe Mama mad. All right. So do you have what is your next sauce that you're going to roll out? And when is the date? Because I'm a sauce nerd, bro. You know that.
Right now, I'm not rolling out any extras. I've got so much good stuff right now. Still,
can I tell you something?
Taking on its own life that hasn't really taken off yet. I'm not looking to make another sauce yet.
Let me tell you something. I think that's so wise. In the last 8 years since I started my channel, I can think of right now three sauce companies that are no longer here. And I'm telling you, the reason they're not is that they had 30 different sauces. There's something to be said. In fact, the other day I was saying this, a different sauce maker. He has 3 sauces that he's just come out with that are so amazing. I said to him, dude, get rid of everything and just make these 3. I'm not kidding you. It's simplistic. They're the best sauces. Like, they're so good. There's something to be said about sticking to what you got and just focusing on that. And then, the nice thing is when you're not worrying about what the new sauce you're rolling out or working on a recipe, it gives you the ability to focus on the marketing end of it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And I'll always help you any way I ever can. You know that.
You too, man.
Anytime. All right. So let's see if there are any more questions here. I think I may have starred one more question. Let's see. All right, let's go back to some more questions that I got here. As far as peppers in your sauces, what is your favorite pepper to work with?
Easier to work with?
Or the one that you find that appears the most in your sausage. You have like a usual suspect list. What's your
jalapeno? Because jalapeno is pretty much touches almost every sauce.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. So I'm
going to great pepper. Good answer, man. It's a good pepper. It's a sneaky pepper though. Wanna Love says, let's go to Berlin. Drown in hot stuff.
Oh,
I'm up for that. Dale Cox says, Johnny, how or where does he get his peppers?
So pepper-wise, I have a purple thumb. I am the worst. I can't grow peppers to save my life. Can't grow anything, really. So what we do is we source locally here in Virginia.
Nice.
We have quite a few different people that grow for us. So all of our peppers are fresh local peppers from farms here in VA.
I love that you're helping the local growers too. You keep it. That's so cool. Not only that, here's the truth of it. You're going to get a better quality product. I promise you. When you get locally grown, it's always the smaller the grower, the better it seems to always be. I don't know why that is.
Great.
Joe Mama has a confession here, everybody, and let's be kind and understanding. She says, "I'm not a chili head, but I like spicy. And I really love the community, so that makes you a chili head, Joe Mama. I dub D a chili head." Pepper Poppy asks, "What percentage of your sauces is usually pepper mash versus onions, carrots, tomato, fruit, etc.?"
Wow, that's a question that's never been asked. It's a good question. Let's see. I would go with a good 25-30%.
Very good. That's a good level. You know, especially when you're using the peppers you're using, because you really get the taste of the pepper when you're able to use 25%. You know, this is a question I ask everybody, and every time I ask it to a sauce maker, it makes me feel like I probably shouldn't be making sauces anymore. But I'm going to ask it anyway. Look, when me and my partner made like our first sauce, I think it took 13 or 14 versions. I'm not joking, dude. I'm not trying to make it a laugh. 13 or 14 versions before we finally said, "Let's go." And everybody I talked to seems to go, "Oh no, I did it with one." What's it like with how many variations does it take usually before you say, "I'm ready, this is it"?
I usually go, wow. The first few sauces we made, it was around that 9 or 10 different variations. Now it's more like 5 to 6.
So you're getting better at it, is what the deal is.
Well dialed in.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like all of ours seem to take just, a lot of variations, and the weird thing is there were so many along, like the first sauce of the 13 or 14, there were like 4 or 5. And I was like, let's do it. Let's just sell it. And we were like, no, let's change it. And the one we finally settled on was really like, I liked the most, but it's kind of crazy.
Got to trust the process, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think it's not my forte, bro. It's out of my element, to be honest. I'm good at talking to people and marketing and good at doing what I do, but
I'm a creative.
In fact, you know what?
That's that's the best part for me. I'm a creative by nature. So,
well, let me tell you. One day, my partner goes, "Dude, make a sauce." I said, "What do you mean make a sauce?" He goes, "Got every ingredient here in the kitchen. Make a sauce. Well, if you like it, we'll get to the co-pack and we'll do it." I spent the whole morning in the kitchen making something. I don't even remember what the base was, but I remember this. I wanted to use avocado oil because it just looks good on a label. It's a cool ingredient. You don't hear a lot. It's kind of like black garlic, It looks good. So I'm like, I'm going to use some avocado oil. And when I was done with it, I was like, holy crap, this is a great sauce. I got him. I'm like, come taste this. I loved it. And he said, as we're walking out, we put it in the fridge. As we're walking out, he goes, "Well, let's see what it's like in the morning. Because it can change." I went,
yeah.
It can change. What do you mean? Dude, bro, we came back the next morning. This is no joke. We came back the next morning, and the sauce was like, there was this much separation. And I don't remember putting that much oil in. I was like, what happened to it? And it wasn't just that the separation was bad. It tasted horrible. It was terrible. So, I mean, I'm not supposed to be making hot sauce. I'll leave that to the other guys. For real. V-Bomb says, "What's black garlic?" Black garlic is a process by which they, I'm not even sure how they make it. It's just
do it. Yeah, it's delicious. I'll give you that.
Oh, I don't even know how what the process is. I'll Google it so I can find out, but it turns garlic into this black, gnarly, sweet, savory, incredible thing. And it changed. You know what? It almost doesn't even taste like garlic. It tastes like something else. But it's the most delicious, savory thing. I don't know the process of how they get that to happen, but it's fermented. Thank you. It's fermented. Thank you, Sam. But it is lovely. And it's one of those ingredients that looks spectacular on label. Oh, yeah, black garlic on your label. It looks good. You know what? We're not going to keep you on too much longer because it's late where you're at. I'm going to let you spend some time with your daughter. But I got a couple more questions I want to ask you if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
few more questions. All right. So if somebody's looking at you for the first time, good looking guy, I mean your sauce company, and they're saying, I've never tried your sauces,
Okay.
and I'm a brand new chili head. I'm only gonna buy one. What sauce do I buy?
I always recommend red chili.
Red chili.
Red
There
chili,
you go.
our answer for your Texas peach, your Tabascos, all your reds. It's
There you
more
go.
the mouthfeel is familiar. The the biggest difference between our sauce and your commercial, I'll call it. I'll use that word. I don't like to use that word, but I'll use it tonight. The biggest difference between the two, our sauces are a little bit thicker. You don't get that runny, watery kind of.
I like that too. I like it, and I don't listen. I don't mind. Like if you think about Tabasco, it's like water, and I don't mind it, and I like it because I have an affinity towards it. It's the first sauce I ever fell in love with. But the truth of the matter is, I like a thicker sauce, especially if you're going to barbecue with it. If you're going to barbecue, you got to have thicker sauce. Otherwise, you're just cooling your coals down, or ending up at the bottom. Couple more questions, then we're gonna let you get to back with your daughter. I feel bad taking you away from your daughter.
She's still in class. You're good. I got a few more minutes.
Okay, good. Have you, Mike in Australia, have you ever thought of using hemp products in a sauce?
Okay, I knew that one was coming. So to answer that question, the answer to that question is yes, we have, but it's not an easy process. Here in Virginia right now, it's not illegal, but it's not technically legal either.
The trouble is you can make it, but you can't ship it. You can make it to somebody, but the minute you ship it, you're breaking the law. So if you make it, you have a booth at a farmer's market, rock that all day long. But here's the thing, bro. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to mention names. There's a company that sells one with CBD in it, and I know they're shipping it all over the place. I'm like, I don't even know the cop's phone number, and I'm not that guy. But I'll tell you something. They better watch out because they don't play with, that's a big violation.
It is.
So would you have CBD you put in it?
Say it again.
You tried some CBD in your sauces?
I have tried it in some before. I've made some for persons have asked me personally to make it, add it to their sauce, and I'll do that. Because it's like right here, I can put it in your hand. But yeah, like you said, crossing state lines and stuff like that, no way.
I'll tell you what. There's a guy in Florida, California, who makes a hot sauce with flour in it.
See,
for real. There's like a quarter of a gram of flour in every bottle. I'm like,
I also feel like, yes, it's definitely lucrative. It's definitely a great way to make some funds real fast. But on the flip side of it, how many people actually can't partake?
Right.
Whether it's a medical reason or it's I'm in recovery, anything. So it's a slippery slope. So I kind of just
boy, you got that right. It's a slippery slope, but like again, it's $1 billion market.
It is
big time, multi-billion. Jeremy Fowler, one more time. Here we go. Jay's smoking. They're Smok'n Blunt Hot Sauce. Really, it's been a fantastic sauce maker, you guys. If you haven't tried them again, you really need to. Just amazing. They're every sauce he's got, no matter where you are in your level. Matter of fact, even if you're kind of a relatively new chili head, you don't have any that are face melters. By the way, that's one that I missed. Dale Cox, I saw it. I had a mental note. I forgot to ask. Would you ever consider making a face melter, a real scorcher?
So we haven't made a burnout sauce yet. But if you're looking for that burnout heat, our Scorchy bears are where we're putting the heat. So we've got a bear. It's 1 million Scoville per bear. You get about 10, 15 bears in a bag. That's where the heat is. That's the hottest thing we make right now.
And that's on your site right now?
On the site right now.
All right, guys. So you know what we all need to do. Let's go over to Smok'n Blunt Sauce and check it out. It's got some great merch. And probably, here's the thing. Probably the coolest merch. I mean, there's a lot of sauce companies out there, but Smok'n Blunt, come on. You want to talk about a conversation starter? For real.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. Hey, listen, thank you for hanging out with me, Jay. You're a good dude. I'm glad we finally put this together.
Absolutely.
You're not just a good sauce maker. You're a good man. And I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me.
Thank
And
you.
if anything I can ever do to help you, whatever,
Same.
my answer is yes.
We are family, man. You've been around. You have been around almost since we started, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
literally. And you've been gracious, man. You've been welcoming. All love, man. We love you, dude. You did
Well,
a
let's keep this going then.
absolutely.
All right, bro. Thank you so much.
You.
Guys, thank you for being here and for all your questions. He's a great guy. You guys are all wonderful. There was a million things you could have done tonight, but you know what? You hung out with us. And I won't forget that. It means the world to us. Thank you so much, Jay. Everybody have a great night. I'm Johnny Scoville. That's Jay Blunt from Smok'n Blunt Hot Sauce. This was After the Burn. And